Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James. Today I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the past 7 days. First we have the VR for Nova Grappler, Beast Deity Azure Dragon. His first skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. When placed, costs Counterblast 1, draw a card, and call a card from your hand to Rearguard Circle, and attack your opponent's Vanguard with that unit. If that attack did not hit, at the end of the battle stand that unit. The fact that the unit stands itself back up is incredibly useful, as you won't need to pay extra resources to stand it up. Though all things considered, Counterblast 1 is pretty cheap for a skill like this, especially in a clan like Nova Grappler. The second skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. When attacks, cost Counterblast 1 and draw and stand one of your rearguards. A simple but very useful skill. Its second skill is strictly worse than Perfect Risers, but the first skill helps Nova Grapplers stay alive, which is something they desperately needed. Beast Deity Black Tortoise is a grade 2 and has Act Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Stand this unit and attack your opponent's Vanguard with it. If that attack did not hit, at the end of the battle stand this unit. This is really good to combo with Azure Dragon, meaning whether you hit or miss, you can always attack again, and really pressure your opponent, especially on an Axel circle if you go first. Even if your attack hits and your units are at rest, you can still stand them back up for a fairly cheap cost thanks to Beast Deity Scarlet Bird. The skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed during your main phase, cost Soul Blast 1, stand all your units. If you stand 2 or more units, and if Beast Deity White Tiger is in your soul, draw a card. You can also stand up your Vanguard through this skill, in case you're going against Zanbaku or any other future units that get that skill, which hopefully Murakumo won't continue to. Lastly, for Nova Grappler, we have the R Riser with the new grade 3 Incise Riser. The skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, cost Counterblast 1, stand all your rearguards on additional rearguard circles. This becomes amazing late game, though Novas don't really do late game. Though getting to 3 or 4 XL circles and having this stand up all the units for 1 Counterblast would likely win you the game. And with Nova's draw power, though not being much, it might get you to this point. The big bad guy is finally here as the R grade 3 Wandering Starhulk ruler Brandt. He has only one skill, but it's a pretty effective one, as Act Vanguard Circle costs Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Till the end of your opponent's turn, change the below effects of your opponent's trigger effects, other than the power increase, to critical. Your opponent gets -1 critical until the end of the battle, and heal, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Though it's semi-luck based whether you get these skills or not, there are cards that will help him, and if your opponent gets a heal, it will be incredibly painful for them, and likely just lose them the game at that point. It's a shame it doesn't do anything with draws or fronts, but if it proves to be such a strong card that Link Joker become tier 1, then at least there's a way around it if you use those triggers. One card that really helps Brandt is the R Starhulk Letaluk. He's a 2 and has Auto Rearguard Circle. When your drive check reveals a Starhulk in its card name, this unit gets plus 10,000 power till the end of the turn. That in itself is very strong, as you don't need a Starhulk Vanguard for this, so this combined with deleters can be devastating with the right drive checks. His second skill is Auto. When it incepts, if your Vanguard has Starhulk in its card name, look at the top card of your opponent's deck and you may bind that card. We have seen a skill like this before, to look at the top card of your opponent's deck and bind it, and it makes a lot more sense now that we've seen Brandt. And we can see if the opponent's going to get a trigger that will damage. This is an all-around powerful card, both offensively and defensively. Starhulk Chirral is a searcher for Link Joker, with the skill of Guard Circle. When placed, costs Counterblast 1, reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck, put a grade 2 or greater card with Starhulk in its card name from among them into your hand, and put the rest of the bottom. So that mill does hurt a little bit, as that's a fair amount of cards in Vanguard, which can be awkward, but a better chance to get the right grade 3 or grade 4 if Brandt Ringer is a 4. It is useful for the deck, just a bit costly. We get a second VR this week with Kegro's Dragonic Overlord the Great. He is able to fill the field a little with Auto Vanguard Circle. When placed, call up to 1 Dragonic Neoflame from your drop zone to Rearguard Circle. And he also has Auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle that it attacked, if a grade 3 is in your soul, cost Counterblast 1, discard 2 cards from your hand and stand this unit and 1 of your Dragonic Neoflame. And they get drive -1 until the end of the turn. This may make Kagero want to spread out Force Gifts a little to give Neoflame an extra push, and this allows for 5 attacks in a turn, which is very nice in Kagero. And you are still minusing 1 from this restand, but you're plussing 1 from the first ability, so it does even out. Dragonic Neoflame is a R grade 2 with Auto Rearguard Circle. When your Dragonic Overlord the Great attacks until the end of the battle, that unit gets plus 5,000 power, and then cost Counterblast 2, and that unit gets +1 critical. That's a costly skill to get a crit, but the 4000 is good for if you do want to spread out the gifts, as your Vanguard will be getting to +15,000 or +25,000 in the early game, or more if you have more Neoflames on Rearguard Circle. Kagero also get the RRR grade 1 with Sable Dragon Newt. Its first skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. When its attack hits, draw a card. If you're going second, it will nearly definitely hit, as people tend to always take the first damage. And this with Berserk Dragon allows draw after draw. The second skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. When your opponent's rearguard is retired during your turn, retire this unit and draw a card. More draw power is great in Kagero, though a lot of the retiring happens in the main phase. Still, you can use this a couple of turns later when this card is no longer needed, or you could even activate it just from hitting a rearguard in the battle phase. Silver Thorn Acrobat Leonor is a promo for Pale Moon, and as Auto Rearguard Circle when placed costs if your soul has 1 or more, Soul Blast all the cards in your soul, and this unit gets plus 15,000 power till the end of the turn. This is not great. The power buff is incredibly strong, but Soul Blasting your whole soul is putting you back a fair amount. But maybe you can arrange your turn in a way that allows this not to hurt you too much, like working around end of stage. This could also be a sign we're seeing Lukier in the next set due to this unit's name. Ignite Proposer is a grade 1 for Dark Irregulars and has continuous Rearguard Circle. If your soul has 5 or more cards, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. And Intercept. This skill does require him to be on the front row, which can cause issues in terms of power, but 15k interceptors are always useful. Still, it's probably best to just use Obstacle Offender, the grade 2 15k interceptor. Lastly, we have another premium collection card with Twin Absolute Divine Knight, Saint of Twin Sword. His first skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks a Vanguard while boosted, cost Counterblast 1 and turn a card in your G-zone face up. Search for up to 2 grade 2 cards, call them to Rearguard Circle and shuffle your deck. And he also has Auto Vanguard Circle. When your rearguard is placed from deck, this unit gets plus 5,000 power to the end of the turn for each face-up card in your G-zone. This isn't as big and scary as the Bermuda Triangle one, but being able to call 2 grade 2s on first riders for a very small cost, and being on attack, allowing for extra attacks, is actually pretty scary. A shame he doesn't have the Brave keyword though to feed into the mid to late game Brave strides. And that is everything for this week. Be sure to check out next week when I'll be going through the card show throughout the next 7 days, and be sure to let me know your favourite card from this week in the comment section below. So I hope to see you next time. Bye!